SummerSlam 2004 is in some ways the black sheep of the SummerSlam family. It's rarely brought up by WWE historians for a number of reasons, mostly the weird reactions of a super duper smarky crowd, but also its main event, which WWE will never refer to in any video package or interview ever again, because it featured Chris Benoit. Also, it had Triple H versus Eugene. PR-wise, it's a total nightmare of a show, and though it wasn't a terrible night of wrestling, it's an easy night to forget, and WWE aren't too bothered about that. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 fascinating facts about SummerSlam 2004. Number 10, it was the birth of Bizarro Land. WWE have a few lines in their back pocket ready whenever the majority of fans go against the grain and boo the wrong person. Remember when Jim Ross said that traditional fans at WrestleMania 22 were the ones booing John Cena? Or every Raw after Mania where WWE blamed the rowdy international fans? Well, the fans in Toronto are more well known for cheering wrong during the Rock-Hogan match at WrestleMania 18. Their reactions towards the performance at SummerSlam 2004 prompted Jerry Lawler to openly declare Toronto Bizarro Land, which later became company parlance for any place that boos John Cena and Roman Reigns. On this show, established babyfaces like Eugene and Edge, in his home province of Ontario no less, took the brunt of the negative response, while cool heel Randy Orton basked in the positive vibes of his championship win. Number 9, Matt Hardy wrestled with a knee injury requiring surgery. Reports surfaced in June 2004 that Matt Hardy was dealing with a possible tear of his MCL. His feud with Kane over who got to marry the unwillfully impregnated Lita, good day at the office everybody, extended through SummerSlam. Hardy would miss nearly a year of action following it, revealing that not only was his MCL in his left knee torn, but that the knee showed no signs of an ACL at all, having been shredded down to virtually nothing. Hardy filmed a right-out angle wherein happy groom Kane slammed him into a fiery abyss 8 nights later, and was off to have surgery. During his time away, the situation with Lita would, if anything, get worse, spawning one of the most real-life storylines in WWE history, which we'll talk about in the next video. Number 8, John Cena and Edge were the only babyfaces to win. Are you happy, Toronto? Your baddies won, you bastards! After Ronald Van Donald defeated Rene Dupree on the Sunday Night Heat pre-show match, babyfaces basically went 1 for 8 on the pay-per-view if you count Edge's impending heel turn as a foregone conclusion, and Toronto sure the did, booing Edge like he just spoiled the Game of Thrones finale. The only heels that lost were Batista, not part of the fall in the IC title triple threat, and Booker T, who was pinned by Cena in the first match of a best-of-5 series for the United States title. So technically, Cena was the only babyface on the show that scored a pinfall on an actual heel. Number 7, Edge became the second man to retain the IC title at SummerSlam. To put this in better perspective, SummerSlam 2004 was the 17th SummerSlam. I've done 17 of these lists. Holy shit! During the first 16 events, only one man had successfully defended the Intercontinental belt, Shawn Michaels. Michaels retained the gold over Mr. Perfect in 1993 by countout, and Razor Ramon in 1995 by ladder match. In 2 years, the belt wasn't defended. Ahmed Johnson was injured in 1996 and Christian wasn't used in 2003. That makes Edge the first man since Shawn Michaels in 1995 and only the second person overall to retain the Intercontinental belt at SummerSlam in an actual match. By pinning Chris Jericho in the triple threat, that made him the first Intercontinental champion in 17 SummerSlams to retain the belt. Not only that, but by pinning Jericho in the triple threat, that made him the first Intercontinental champion in all 17 SummerSlams to retain the belt by pinfall or submission. Now boo him, Toronto. Boo your hero. Number 6, Divas Dodgeball was the second highest rated match on WWE.com. The 2004 Diva Search, bringer of such profound TV moments as selling ice cream cones in as seductive a manner as possible, and let's have the divas swear at each other while the censor can't find the button in time. The entire months-long train wreck was something that even a guest appearance by The Rock couldn't save. As part of the SummerSlam telecast, the remaining competitors took part in a dodgeball game against established WWE divas, including Stacy Keibler, Jazz, and Victoria. The match was a shoot, and the veteran actual wrestlers got their clocks cleaned in a move that actually gave the whole division giant backstage heat. Incredibly, in a WWE.com poll asking fans what their favorite match at SummerSlam was, because we don't deserve nice things, more than 22% picked Divas Dodgeball, second only to Chris Benoit and Randy Orton's main event. Well done, everybody. Number 5, JBL claims Taker offered to put him over clean. JBL's WWE Championship reign became a notable addition to the lineage of the belt out of sheer bloody stubbornness. He held the belt for a baffling 281 days, despite most of his main events actually being quite crap in ring, and things didn't exactly get off to a promising start in 2004. Despite being a perfectly contemptible villain with the ability to cut an excellent heat magnet promo, at the time he was still seen as Bradshaw, the brawler from the APA. Factor in his goose-stepping incident in Germany and the fact he ended the championship reign of the beloved Eddie Guerrero, and the pseudo-smartened-up audience felt like he was a crummy champion. Undertaker was a close friend of JBL, so much so that he served as groomsman at JBL's wedding the next year in 2005. According to the wrestling god, Undertaker had volunteered to lose cleanly to him at SummerSlam, presumably to give JBL a credible victory. JBL actually refused, believing he needed to remain as much of a cowardly chicken shit heel as possible, and felt that winning big matches would temper the fans' disgust. Number 4, a fan nearly ruined the limo spot. The Undertaker ended up losing by disqualification, giving JBL a cheap win and prolonging the feud. A DQ finish at SummerSlam though, for a world title though. Come on, guy. As a way to end the match with something the fans might actually like, an irate Undertaker chokeslammed JBL through the roof of his limousine, which had been rigged so that the roof would break away and JBL would land on a crash pad in the seating area inside. Sometime before the spot, one of the fans, a dickhead, jumped the guardrail and climbed onto the limo's roof in a public display of dickheadity. JBL believes the only thing that saved the dickhead from falling through, which would have hit the double whammy of injuring the fan and blowing the post-match angle, is that one of the people coordinating the stunt had patched the breakaway roof a bit more firmly so it wouldn't noticeably sag before the chokeslam spot. Thankfully, security got the dickhead before he could totally ruin everything. Number 3, Orton became the youngest world champion in WWE history. Brock Lesnar still holds the record for youngest WWE champion ever at 25. Lesnar infamously ended up flying the WWE coop in March of 2004, tired of the grueling road life and wanting to try his hand at murdering people in professional football. Randy Orton was destined for an accelerated push the minute he was made Triple H's apprentice around the turn of 2003. That he was put into the world title scene at such a young age isn't surprising, because it does feel like a conspiracy theory. When Orton went over on Chris Benoit to become world heavyweight champion at SummerSlam 2004, he was 24, breaking Lesnar's WWE record for youngest world champion under the WWE banner. Did WWE put Orton on top so young just to spitefully nudge Lesnar out of the record books because they hated him IRL? It's not like they haven't got previous for that. Cough AJ Lee. Cough demolition. Number 2, it was the only world heavyweight title change at SummerSlam for 5 years, as the world heavyweight title does not share lineage with the WCW championship despite being virtually the same physical belt. Orton's victory over Benoit marks the first world heavyweight title change at SummerSlam ever. In the 11 SummerSlams where the belt was on the line, it would only change hands 3 times, and it wouldn't happen again until 2009. CM Punk defeating Jeff Hardy in a TLC match at the 2009 show marked only the second world heavyweight title change, ending a streak of 4 straight SummerSlams where the champion held onto their belt. The other change took place in 2011 when Orton toppled Christian. Thus, Orton's the only man to have captured that belt twice at SummerSlam. And number 1, Orton's reign was never meant to last. Orton's sudden babyface turn, spurred by an envious Triple H kicking him out of Evolution, was a bit of a flop. The cool, confident heel Orton that amassed a considerable fan following morphed into a predictable, glad-handing babyface in the grand WWE tradition of "we suck at making babyfaces." Orton's reign ended after 4 weeks, and the perception is that his poor performance as good guy led to him dropping the strap. In reality, WWE never intended for Orton to hold the belt past Unforgiven in September. They wanted to build the chase to WrestleMania 21 with Orton getting his revenge on Triple H and regaining the gold there. But that didn't happen, and that was because of the flop.